G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on the brand new map. We are on Golden Pit and boy oh boy do we have a gold filled pit for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time to introduce our players for today. In the south of the map, in the color teal, playing as the Mongols, we've got Prabuti Wins. And on the north side of the map in the color pink, playing as the Juicy Legacy, we've got the other core, aka Donardi. Ladies and gentlemen, where are his berries? Oh, they're at the back of his base. Okay. I'm looking here at the front. I'm like, he's made a mill in the most weird little spot. Very strange, Don. I'll give it to you. But anyway, we've been casting Donardi games all day. I've been enjoying it. Don's always such a fun player to watch. And if you're enjoying watching these Donardi games, make sure you leave a like on the video. Really helps out with the traction. Don, don't do it. Don't do it, Don. Thank you. I like how he got the sword out for it as well. He's like, you fucking sheep, you come right here. And very well done. Look at this, stealing all the enemy sheep as well. Don. Bro. Alright. Don. Alright, anyway, let's... I'm gonna stop bitching about Don. Let's talk a little bit about what we've got here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a fun matchup. Juicy's Legacy up against the Mongols. The Mongols are a civilization that like to put on early pressure. One of the things to note, Donardi has got a front gold. On top of that, he's also put his mill right in the front. So if there's anything that could annoy him right now, it would be an outpost. You could probably even get closer than that. I reckon you could probably do one right here. Hit the gold, hit the mill, hit a whole bunch of your wood line. Potentially look to come in on the back side as well. Look to hit the berries. You can shut down a lot of stuff over here. And realistically, that is going to hurt Don a lot. Now, Don is doing something interesting. Donardi is not gathering any gold. In fact, he's got 10 villagers on food right now. Is this never before seen? Is he forced dropping off? How's he got so much gold this early? Because this is like... How many drop-offs is this? You start with 50 gold, right? So this is 100 gold. Did he pick up a treasure somewhere? That's an AoE 3 reference. You guys wouldn't get it. Actually, you might get it. I think he's doing forced drop-offs. Either that or he's just going through the sheep like a madman. Look at the amount of resources he's got. Meditation Garden's going to come down in the back of the base. Plenty of berries thrown down here for him. Woodline's covered. Gets the gold as well. Also gets the stone. It's a pretty decent Meditation Gardens. I rate this one quite a bit. Now, on this... 8 villagers on the Meditation Gardens. By the way, look at the speed of this age up. Hello. Wow, this is so quick. Oh my god. I just realized, have a look at this. He's the Mongol player's moving the villager out. He's like, yep, don't worry, guys. This tower rush is coming up shortly. Bro, he's not even halfway across the map. The age up's online already. Oh, Donardi doing Donardi things. Aging up at 2 minutes and 50. And have a look at this. Immediately, you've got the equivalent 48, 40, 30, and 30. So you're talking 148 resources. This is the equivalent of 3.5 villagers right here that Donardi's just brought from nowhere into somewhere. That's ludicrous. Villager now coming out. Don can literally just go into a single archery range. Where are his resources, though? How is he gathering? He's only on food still at this stage of the game. I mean, I know he's got the mill here, but what's the man's plan? Because this is kind of wild. Let's check in with his opponent. Prabuti Wins now. Going to be looking to throw down that Gur, get it nice and close to the gold vein. Of course, he's a little bit, you know, you got to make a tough decision here. Do I go next to the gold, next to the trees? And normally it's always next to the trees. But towards that top side, we see the villager coming in. Spears looking to make their connection. 3 minutes 40, a little bit late on that timing, I will say. But now Donardi beginning to move forward. Oh, that's where he's getting his wood from. He's getting his wood from the Meditation Gardens, of course. Look how much wood it's bringing through as well. 41 wood, 48 food, 30 gold, 30 stone. What a Meditation Gardens. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is a very smart move. But now the villagers coming up. Remember, the outpost is here. And where does he go with it? I mean, he could just literally crack this with the amount of villagers that he's got. Khan going to be doing a bit of work. No archery range, no sign of it at the moment. Lumber camp has come down here. Slowly working his way up with the outpost. Remember that this outpost will take some time to come up. What is it? A minute? I think it works out to be a minute, 60 seconds. Yeah, 60 seconds to get this outpost online. So still got about 30 seconds before he can crack it. But now the villager's going to move up. Is he thinking about it? He's thinking about it. Only the 2 spears here. So a little bit of a mistake from Rudy Wins. Not bringing these up. Throws the landmark in the front right next to him. Is like, hey, I'm just... Wait. Oh, he's just surrounding the villager. He's just looking to surround the villager, not actually busting the outpost. Scout going to come out as well. Deerstone's behind it. Villager's getting pulled back here. Needs to be careful about taking the fight against the spearmen. More spears making their way to the front. Prabuti Wins is looking to try and win this game, as the name would imply. Villager really struggling here. Scout probably going to go down in the midst of it. Manages to get it out. Song Dynasty in the face of your opponent. Now a couple of villagers managed to make it out alive, but unfortunately, you can't say the same for those spearmen. Checking in with his opponent. The Deer Stones is up. 5 villagers working its way through. About 50%, 40% through at the moment. Still putting pressure on towards the front. The scout never did go down. Villagers are still getting chased. Don Artie, he's managed to lose 2 so far this game. This is going to be his 3rd one as well. So just remember that advantage that he had in the early game from the Meditation Gardens has now been pretty much blown up here. He had a couple of options. Like, he could have just gone for a really early Meditation Garden or really early archery range, which is what I would have done. So, and look, I'm not trying to brag here, but very easily, you just move the villagers from here over to this straggler tree. You can move like 10 over. Get enough gold, or get enough wood, throw down your archery range, immediately supervise out a single Jukunu, and just kill the enemy villager. And that's it. That's it. It's all done. All over Red River. Like, the outpost is there. Town center covers you up until this point. So you can stand your Jukunu here, laugh at your enemy. And that's it. You don't have to lose vills that way. But Don Artie throws away 4 villagers. And look, I've done enough coaching for Don Artie. If you'd like to get your own coaching, make sure you check out the Patreon. And speaking of coaching, I just realized we don't have our beautiful UI on. Let me bring that in. There you guys go. Now you know that this is an official Aussie Drongo game. Because well, we've got the UI in and it says it down the bottom. I didn't even realize. We're casting. I'm casting so many games back to back at the moment. I'm just going through the whole list of Don Artie games. I'm like, just give them to me, Don. I know they're going to be good. And have a look at this. This is not what you expect playing against a Chinese player, especially a Juicy Legacy player. But look at this. Don Artie looking to utilize the Jiangnan Tower and the bonus that it provides. He is on a Don. Is he doing what I think he's gonna do? Oh, Don's so silly. He's such a silly guy, but I love him. You gotta love him. Look what he's doing. The Jiangnan Tower has a bonus that when you build a military production building, a barracks, a stable, an archery range, you get rewarded, or awarded in this case, a unit. So if it's a stable, you get a horseman. If it's an archery range, you get a Jukunu. And for Don Artie, he's decided he's going to be building a whole bunch of stables. Now, stables cost 150 wood. But one of the things to note is wood is easy to come by. In fact, wood is very easy to come by, and you can maximize your wood efficiency by getting double broadaxe, supervising it with an Imperial official, and eventually getting your wheelbarrow upgrade. And what this means is that you don't ever have to worry about food. Now, granted, you're going to be spending quite a bit of resources on these units, but remember that the horseman costs 120 resources. Your stable costs 150. You're only paying 30 more. And on top of that, you do have that percentage coming through from the Imperial official on the lumber camp. So Don Artie going to be coming out with something a little bit unique today. Up against a couple of Keshiks, though. Making their way towards the horseman. They will have the speed advantage of the horseman. Now looking to connect with a couple of Jukunu on the back line. Manages to take out 3 villagers so far in this game. Don Artie going to be spamming only production buildings. And now the developers are watching this and they're like, I think we need to... Who's he talking to? He's talking to Mido. He's like, Mido, I think we might need to nerf the Jiangnan Tower. Look at this. 8 minutes into the game, Don Artie. Stop it. He's playing with his food at this point in the game, it feels like. The numbers are looking pretty formidable for him at this stage of the game. And the question's going to be, where does Pravity Winds go from here? It looks like it might be into a second TC. He's got a lot of villagers on wood, but one distinct thing is there is a lack of Gur here. It means that I'm going to have to issue a citation from the macro police here. We want to get that Gur up here, bring it over to the other side. Because at the end of the day, we've got 7 villagers working on wood. Only 4 villagers working on gold. But Pravity Winds still going into the double broadaxe now, looking to try and find that eco opening. Have a look at the production that's coming out for the Don here. He's making a few buildings, we could say. The new Juicy Legacy strategy is online. It's a little bit silly, and it might actually just be hilarious. But you can see right now the Jiangnan Tower is producing insane amounts of units. You know, we talked about early on the fact that the Meditation Gardens was producing the equivalent of 3.5 villages at every second in this game. The Jiangnan Tower is doing it a little bit wilder. Now, you got to invest a fair bit to get... Oh, his entire army is just coming from the Jiangnan Tower. Now, what would be the reason why you'd actually want to do this? Now, keep in mind the barracks does cost a fair bit more resources than a spearman does, all right? You're paying 150 wood for your barracks. Your spearman costs 60 food. It costs 20 wood. 80 resources. So you're basically paying double. But remember that you do have that 20% going. You've stacked up your upgrades as well. Now, Don doesn't have his wheelbarrow upgrade. If I could change things for Don, I would say, Don, what I want you to do is get your wheelbarrow upgrade and start refreshing these lumber camps a little bit. That's the only macro citation I'm going to issue for you for the moment. But 10 minutes into the game, Don Artie currently sits on 20 production buildings. 20 production buildings, 10 minutes in. I think that might be a world record other than a game that may have happened with cheats. But look, for the most part, Don Artie does overwhelm his opponent at this early stage of the game. Second TC never actually happened for his opponent. Instead, going to be looking to continue pushing Keshiks. He's thrown down a couple of pastures, rallying in towards the town center. And now, towards this top side, it looks like a couple of units will make their way through. Hardened Spearmen going to have a little bit of a tough time. They are outnumbered 27 to 1. Probably not 27, 24 to 1. Spears together with the Jugunu. Going to be moving forward. And now pressure is being put on these deer. Now, keep in mind, he's done the right thing. He's invested in his pastures, which means that he's going to have plenty of food underneath the town center for when he gets chased away by his opponent out of this area. But now Keshiks as well as spears on the way back here. Keep in mind, there are a lot of spears coming out for his opponent, which means that the Don Artie should have the answer to all the questions thrown out by Prabuti Wins. Horseman chasing away villagers. He's going to take out, that's his 5th villager that he's taken out this game. There's only enough room in here for 15 villagers, which means you can technically come in and kill these ones. These are all free real estate at this stage, but Don going to be backing off for the moment. Still adding more villagers onto wood at this stage of the game and adding in, oh my god, look at the production. How many units does he have in queue? He doesn't even have any in queue. He's just continuing to refresh it. But more and more production is coming up. He's going to throw down the blacksmith as well. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. We are seeing the development of a brand new juicy legacy strategy. Now, I'm going to say, I'm going to use this strategy here as a means to coach. Now, I think I've already shouted out the Patreon on this game, so I'm not going to do it again. But I will say this. The juicy legacy actually have the English advantage. Now, what is the English advantage? The English advantage is because you have a council hall, which acts as 2 archery ranges. What that means is that whenever you click that archer or that longbow button, it comes out twice as fast, which means that you can sink your resources into that building twice as fast as you can an archery range, which is really, really good. It's an important thing because one of the biggest problems that we have as new players to the game is that we don't spend our resources quickly enough. Now, one of the great things about having so much production that you can't possibly use it all is that whenever you are, you know, as an example, Don Artie could go AFK for 3 minutes. Maybe his mum screamed out to him, Don, come and take your tablets. And Don's like, okay, coming, mum. And he comes back to his computer and he's like, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to queue up 14 spearmen in my 14 barracks. I'm going to queue up 20 horsemen in my 20 stables. And immediately, he spent all those resources that were just sitting there. And so essentially, as we watch this battle break out, it's spearmen horsemen fighting up against Keshik spearmen. A pretty standard battle, I guess we could say, that we often see here from the Juicy's Legacy. It's not at all. This is a completely non-standard fight. Archer numbers are starting to build here. The horseman making a decent connection. He's outnumbering his opponent at the moment. This is the new Juicy Legacy strategy. You know, they talk about 2TC being overpowered. They talk about the Song Dynasty being overpowered, the Castle Age, the Bald build all overpowered, but they don't tell you about this one right here. This is the truly overpowered Juicy Legacy build order that we are seeing right now. That essentially what it does is it means that if you ever forget to train units out of your production buildings, what it does is it says that you can instantly train those units now instead. And that is very, very cool. I do like that. Now, I think that Don's definitely gone on the higher end of things here. You know, one of the ways I would look at it is, you know, if you're playing Juicy's Legacy, you could go up to like 7 or 8 archery ranges when maybe you only need 4. And then that way, if you ever don't spend your resources, you're going to be A-okay. But have a look at this, spending resources. Don Artie now going to be looking for that wheelbarrow around the 14-minute mark. A little bit late, if I'm honest with you. If this had come in earlier, his production would have been through the roof, just simply because it really gives you quite a bit of flexibility here. But now 14 minutes into the game, the Don, he's looking strong. Up against a formidable opponent here. 12 archers, 5 spears, 4 Keshiks for his opponent, beginning to move through. They're going to do a little bit of a roundabout when it comes to the stealth forest, and Don going to add more production on the front. Just because he figured, you know what, I don't have enough production here. I'm going to need more production. He's making only production. 14 minutes into this game. sitting on a ludicrous amount. Now the horsemen going to be coming out here, looking to loop around onto the backside. Plenty of archers. They've got their +1s through, but Don able to overwhelm the opponent. More units making their way across the map, but definitely a little bit overwhelmed Prabhuti feels right now. I know his name's Prabhuti Wins, but it definitely could also be Prabhuti Overwhelmed. Power overwhelming. More like production overwhelming at this stage. But now Don Artie cleans out his opponent completely. And the Juicy Legacy is looking strong in this game with this new... I don't even know. What do we call it? Like, is this a meme build? This is a meme build. Second TC coming up. Expect this bad boy to be rallied out to wood. You can only assume it's going to be rallied to wood. He has dotted the entire map with his production facilities. I mean, there's only so much space you can build out here, Don Artie. I'm a little bit scared for your own sake. Now, you could have gone for something amazing in the middle. You could have gone for a meditation gardens. Look how many this would have picked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think you'd get all of them, but something around here probably gets 3, 6. This one definitely probably gets 7. I'm going to go with 7. All right. Numbers continuing to build for the Don. Has he made a single unit yet? I don't think he's made a single unit yet. Let's check in with his production. 28 stables, 2 archery ranges. No, he must have made Juganu. There's no way. He's got 14 Juganu. So he's been making Juganu this time. John Artie's a scammer. Ladies and gentlemen, don't buy his strategies. Just when you think that they're going to be powerful like this, it's not actually the reality. You got to actually make units with this strategy. But now pushing up, Don Artie looking to finish off this game. 16 minutes through. The unit numbers are looking strong. Juganu pushing towards the front. Spears in a decent position. Now the Keshiks looking to try and clean this up. Horsemen towards that top side. Looking to loop back around. The numbers are strong. Meanwhile, towards that top side, there are a couple of exposed villages. Don Artie not going to be able to find them. More and more units making their way out across the map here. Barracks coming up on the south side. Don Artie absolutely dotting this entire map with production. The new Juicy Legacy strategy, it's a bit of a meme. It's a bit of a dream, but I tell you what, if Don Artie's able to take out an enemy using only this strategy, there might be something wrong with it. The devs may have to head back to the drawing board with this one. How do you even go about fixing this? I mean, realistically, what do you do? I mean, I don't think it's absolutely broken. I will say there's a bit of a skill mismatch at the moment. Don Artie, Conqueror 3, one of the best players in the world. He's fighting against a player who's also ranked in the Conquerors, but definitely not as high ranked as him. I'll say that much. But now, working towards more wood. That could be the weakness of this strategy. The downfall of this strategy is actually there's not enough wood on the map to make it work. There is enough space for buildings. There's just not enough space for wood. More barracks coming up now. Don looking to reinforce here with the spears on the front. I like that he's reacting. He's like, oh, my enemy's got so many Keshiks out. I need to throw down barracks. And he's spamming them out. You can see that they queue up the hardened spearmen. They take 5 seconds, but they are free coming from the Jiangnan Tower. Rallying more and more units out. Look at the production as it comes down here. Don Artie with a couple of Jugunu in the queue. Slowly working that army number up. He's picked up his +1 upgrades. He's got his ranged armor. His ranged attack as well is through. And now those numbers start to build for Prabhuti. Have a look at the score for Don. It is absolutely burgeoning at the seams. There are way too many production buildings for him. How many production buildings is he on right now? 31 stables, 28 barracks, 18 minutes through this game. The man only wants production. He says there's not enough production. We need more pylons. You require additional pylons. Don Artie at this stage of the game requires additional production facilities. Now going to be looking to take a boar as well. And what's this? Prabhuti Wins actually helping out the Don. He's saying, hey, Don, I know you don't have enough space to make more production facilities, so instead of you having to delete them, I'm going to actually just take them out for you. I'm going to get myself a nice little award when I do that. Keep in mind, he is playing the Mongols, so this is a good thing for the Mongols. Going to get that nice little bounty coming through on one of those Keshiks. Don now looking to push out. We'll bring off that UI as Don Artie says, you want to fight? Let's do it. Jugunu pushing in. Keep in mind, these units do particularly well against the archers as well as the spears. Only problem he's going to have are these Keshiks, but the spears come through. Able to take them out. Still the archers teeing off on the backside. I have no idea where those horsemen went. Keep that in mind. And now slowly but steadily, the trickle of units coming out for the Don begins to die down. More and more Keshiks come through. We may have ourselves a little bit of an upset, but look at this. The Jugunu numbers standing strong. More of them rallying in. At the same time, on the backside, the Khan's going to pop that attack speed arrow, but where did the horsemen go? Remember, there is a horseman mass on this unit, on this map somewhere. They are looking for villagers. They are finding their way through, and Don Artie somehow holding on the front. He's spamming out spears. Is he making spears? Where's he getting these spears from? The Jiangnan Tower's not producing them anymore. More and more units rallying towards the front. Don realizing maybe he can't just make only production. Step Red out going to be coming through for his opponent. Prabhuti wins, looking to try and take control of this game in the castle age. It's going to be in the middle of the map. Oh, I don't like that, Prabhuti. Oh, I don't like that. I reckon you probably could have gone here 100% and then slowly moved your way up with outposts in the middle. Maybe a couple of outposts throwing down some sprinkled emplacements definitely could have been the way forward here. But doing this, you expose yourself to an angry, upset Don Artie as he puts more production into the back of his base. The madman has only made production buildings. That is it. That is all you see. How many production buildings have we got right now? 39 stables, 27 barracks. The Juicy legacy is absolutely cracked. 0 villages? Oh, he's throwing an outpost down. Okay, he realizes the error of his ways and says, okay, Drongo was right. I need an outpost here. Unfortunately, I still don't like this step out. I'm a little bit fearful of how it may go. Towards that base, though, of Don Artie. Still looks to stick it out in the feudal age. More and more production coming out. He made only production buildings here. Plenty of villagers back here. He's run out of wood, actually. He's got a little bit here, but he's like, you know what? Maybe we think about going castle ourselves. Is that what he's looking? Is that the angle he's playing at? But look at this. This is what I was talking about, okay? You look at his barracks. He has got a whole bunch of barracks. Technically, there are some in queue. No, that's the Jiangnan Tower. He needs to make sure that they're all in the production, because there's a whole bunch that are rallied up here on the back. Anyway, when Don Artie says, I need spearmen, he just simply clicks the spearmen button and he gets 1 million spearmen delivered to him in, what is it, 15 seconds? 15 seconds. They all pop out. They immediately come to the front line and they are here. And this is the power of having that production. Now, of course, this is a version of this strategy, which is it would be what's the word? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But now, speaking of tops of the head, have a look at this. Mongol Khan looking to try and... Where is he? I don't even see the Mongol Khan. There he is. He's in the battle. A little bit of a movement speed arrow going to be thrown off here. Keshik coming around the backside. He's looking to try and get those veterancy upgrades. He's still yet to come in. He's got a lot of wood in the bank. But Don Artie surrounding his opponent on this forward position. We talked about how important it was to make sure that step out was safe on the back line. And Don Artie going to be coming through, obliterates his opponent. 22 minutes into the game. The numbers starting to look good for the Don. The Zhukanu numbers continue to build. He's rallying and more units behind it. Have a look at the trickle of units. Production continuing to be added. He's got so many damn production buildings across this back line. We are seeing what might be the silliest strategy of 2023. This is it. You were seeing it here first, folks. Just when you thought this production was acceptable, Don Artie cleans up. Villagers going to get chased away. Keshik's over on that right side, rather. Horsemen chasing away villagers here, and good game gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, the Don Artie with a little bit of an original strategy coming out on the Juicy Legacy. I didn't think we'd see something like that today, but today, this was a crazy opening from the Don Artie and an absolutely incredible finish. Go check him out. The link's in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.